Namaste, sentient being, citizen of Gotham. It is Sunday, June 21st, 2015. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in. ANP, they have some articles about JADE HELM updates. JADE HELM 15 kickoff coincides with the cremation of care ritual at Bohemian Grove. Madmen preparing to destroy the entire planet. Okay. In brand new video, Gary Frenchie of Next News Network proves to us that the military exercise that we are watching across America now have gone global, as he provides us with the footage of 4 separate sets of war games going on across the world right now. In the footage here, we are going to get up close and personal and practically inside of the machines of war as the United States and NATO drill in preparation for going to war with Russia and potentially worldwide nuclear annihilation. Okay, I think that's a bit extreme, but okay. Also new on ANP, Elite Humanity. The Walking Dead, as they warn the next generation, extinction is here before running off to the bunkers. That's one of the other articles I wanted to talk about, as well as new Concertina wire, fencing around closed prison and guard in tower. Also, closed prison is going to be used as FEMA camps? What veteran who took photos followed by white man. Frenchie tells us that the JADE HELM has splintered globally and warns us that the highly occultic cremation of care ritual at the upcoming Bohemian Grove meeting attended by the elite in California coincide with the official start of JADE HELM on July 15th. With Russia also wargaming now and also hosting huge military drills in September, will JADE HELM 15 soon turn into an actual physical manifestation of the cremation of America, as suggested by Frenchie. We are clearly witnessing an unprecedented buildup of military power, both here in America and overseas, and this kind of mass preparation is rarely done without a major world-defining event following. Yes, that's my thing. I think this whole JADE HELM thing, it's a lot deeper than the surface of what they've allowed us to know and what people are conjuring up. As I've said in most of my other video posts, I believe they're going to do 2 or 3 false flags, one getting successively worse than the other, such as a dirty bomb, which will be a false flag, or 2 dirty bombs, and then a psyop of an earthquake, a massive earthquake, or maybe 2 massive earthquakes. You know, it could be one massively devastates Japan, and then one massively devastates, California, and then have a dirty bomb go somewhere off in Mexico or New York or somewhere around, mid-part of the midwestern part, maybe even Utah or something like that, and then from there, that'll be 3 separate, pretty devastating events, and from there they can implement martial law, because they'll already have the military set up for that. But they're definitely setting things up for a false flag. I don't think come July 15th it's going to be martial law. I don't think that's what they're doing, but that's when it officially goes into effect. But again, I think that it's going to be probably September, October, November before something severe happens when they do some false flags. And they also have the alien invasion false flag, which is supposed to come around September, October, and coincide probably with the Papal's visit. I think September 23rd, he shows up in New York City or something like that. So that ought to be interesting. Nonetheless, what are the cremation of care ceremonies at the upcoming Bohemian Grove meeting spoken by Frenchie, whatever, I'll say Frenchie, maybe it's Frenchie. The second video below, the full-length Dark Secrets inside Bohemian Grove, which will get much more into the elitist Dark Secrets, but they can be described briefly as this. The cremation of care is a ritual performance undertaken at the yearly Bohemian Grove Club, where a mock child sacrifice is made and an approximate 40-foot stone owl. To an approximate 40-foot stone owl. That's Moloch, the owl that they worship, meaning satanic Freemasons. And that's what they do. It's a ritual that's symbolic, but I'm sure they also do a real satanic ritual. That might be some of the Freemasons, but the real satanic Freemasonry ritual is to actually sacrifice a child. So that'll be have a twofold. They'll do a mock one and they'll do a real one. The ritual involves club members, often high-ranking businessmen and politicians, cremating, getting rid of their care moral compass in order to clear their conscience for the year ahead. Presumably, the creation of care is conducted because club members will be involved in unethical business deals and corrupt political decisions in the coming year and want to rid themselves of any internal guilt. This most likely is just symbolic. Well, that's true, and that's retarded for them to think that by doing this they're going to have any, kill karma. Karma will come and get them. The owl idol used during the cremation care might represent Minerva, like other symbols of the club, the Babylonian demon Lilith, or rendition of Phoenician child, child sacrifice god Moloch. Moloch is the owl. The narrator of the ritual names Phoenicinia, during the line, as vanished Babylon and godly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. Tyre is another term for ancient seaport of Phoenicia. I don't know, Phoenicia. With the summer solstice upon us, which is going to happen, also there's a blood moon September 28th, a retired United States Navy SEAL posted a very important warning on the website of Steve Quayle that ties right into what we are reading in the cremation of care ritual described above. Much more in the military exercises across the world below, including more pictures and excellent video. So this is that. You can read that. The past week, 4 separate groups of war games for NATO and their allies include Operation Saber Strike, 15, Operation Noble Jump, Operation Baltop, and Exercise Eagle Talent. Operation Saber Strike was one of the largest multinational shows of force since World War II. Franchi asked if we heard about this on the mainstream media, and if not, why. I've never heard of any of these other exercises. The only one I heard was the one that Operation Raven. According to his own assessment, JADE HELM 15 has unofficially gone live over a month earlier. I heard that too. I heard it started June 15th, actually, 7 days ago last week. And the extreme intensification of military exercise all across the globe, in coordination with NATO, are likely to, in preparation for war with China and Russia. Each of these different exercises going on right now is broken down below. I've heard about that too. But as I've prefaced other videos, China and Russia, all these governments are in cahoots with one another, including the United States. They are like a wrestling team, a wrestling show, meaning they're baby faces and heels, and they all pretend they hate each other. Meanwhile, their goal is the same because they're all underneath the occultic hybrid Illuminatis, the satanic Freemasons, and Zionists, who are all subordinate to Draconians. So they follow what they are being told to do. They're not doing anything on their own. I guess these are some of the exercises. This is crazy watching this. This is insane. This is actually going on. And what's more insane is the people that are involved, these soldiers who do this willingly and under their own volition that want to do it. Second article was about new Concertina wire fencing around closed prison and guard in tower. It should be around closed prison, period, and guard in tower. Are closed prisons going to be used as FEMA camps? Veteran who took photos followed by white van. ANP has been sent more original news photos of the decommissioned Nevada State Prison from a concerned veteran who described not only what he saw in the photos but what occurred after he took the photos, and concluded that white vans seemed to be a common denominator. While researching, we found another very strange occurrence that happened in 2014, another closed prison detailed in this article below. So they have that below. Talk about the photos are of supposedly decommissioned Nevada State Prison in Carson City, where our keen-eyed reader notes that he once lived close to this prison, and while driving past it recently decided to take some photos which show bright, shiny new Concertina wire, both layer deep on the ground and along the top of the perimeter of the fencing. The concerned vet also notes in the photo as a guard seen in the tower. Email shown below, along with one of the photos sent to ANP. A couple of things. I live near the old prison that was closed in CC years back. I have to give a friend a lift over there the other day. I had to, excuse me. And the route took me right past it. We took some pics, and what really stood out was the bright, shiny new Concertina wire, both layered deep on the ground along the top of the perimeter fencing. Also, the sun was just right so that you could see a man in one of the dark-tinted window guard towers. I slowed to take photos, so I knew we were noticed. On the way home on United States or US 395, I was followed by a white Mercedes van with markings of a floral shop. I looked up the floral shop later, and it does not exist. I made some erratic but legal lane changes to let the driver know I was aware, and he followed the first two, then broke off. I could get the name of the flower shop as it is written above the windshield visor. When the driver broke off, he did by making a sudden lane change and turning into a residential street. My situational awareness meter was off the scale. I'm a veteran. I will attach the photos. They were taken with a 10-year-old camera but blown up well on the computer. In the guard tower shot, you need to see the man inside. Please bear in mind, this is the old Nevada State Prison, not the Warm Springs Correctional Facility to the west. Some of his pictures, so you can check that out if you want. And then finally, the other article that they were talking about that was mentioned in here, third article right there. Elite call humanity the walking dead as they warn the next great extinction is here before running off to their bunkers. Well, that means, like I said, massive false flags that are going on. And that also could be, the other thing is there could be an outbreak of virus, just like the movie Outbreak, which I'm not trying to bite off of or anything, but in that it was just one virus that was caused by, a little monkey. Planet of the Apes was about a simian flu. So all they have to do, and they have tons of weaponized, viruses that they have in the CDC and the government, because CDC works for the government, it's a part of the government. So they have, obviously, clearly they have at least one, if not probably dozens, and I would say dozens of killer viruses that could decimate populations probably within a few months tops. Probably within a few weeks they could decimate, and inside of several months could practically eliminate or extricate an entire populace. That might seem extreme. It's not, because these viruses are available. They weaponize everything, and they could release a couple of them. I'm sure they have a bowl of 5 and 6 and 10, so to speak. I'm sure they have many different variations of flesh disease. They probably have several different types of bubonic plague. Any one of those, any one of the old released weaponized viruses they released where they killed hundreds of thousands of people, they can release today, and I'm sure it's 10 times stronger. So that could be another thing as well, which would eradicate a lot of people. Having said that, Stanford University Professor Paul Ehrlich, along with experts from Princeton and Berkeley, recently issued a warning to the world. The next great extinction is here, and humanity is likely to die out with it. Calling human beings essentially the Walking Dead, we can hear Ehrlich, Ehrlich tell us of the humanity's destiny in the first video below from Stanford University, as they officially tell us the sixth great extinction has arrived. Back in 2002, Ehrlich, the author of Population Bomb, warned that population shrinkage would be necessary. I don't know why only eugenists think that, psychopathic eugenists. Well, eugenicist is a psychopath, so anyway, that's redundant. And told of the need for billions of people fewer on the planet than there were on this planet. Then, depopulation, that's insane. Back in June 2010, Saudi Arabian Prince Turki bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, thinking he has enough names, warned his country's royal family to flee prior to the military coup or revolution overthrows them. His warning also left a dire message to the United States, Israel, and the UK. Do not fool yourself by relying on the United States or Britain or Israel, because they will not survive the loss. Entire countries, economic and political experts and their other players on the world stage are increasingly warning of the coming of the World War III and the skyrocketing potential of a coming economic Armageddon. George Soros told us just weeks ago that it is no exaggeration that China, United States, on threshold of World War III. Russian President Vladimir Putin just announced an addition of 40 ICBMs, those are nuclear warheads, to Russia's nuclear arsenal. Military drills are being held worldwide, with NATO and its allies holding massive drills simultaneously in at least 4 locations across the planet, while China warns the entire world that World War III is inevitable unless the U.S. butts out of politics in South China Sea. In Europe, there's a race against time to save Greece and economic collapse, while Dr. Doom's Nouriel Roubini tells us that the liquidity time bomb that will surely trigger the next global financial collapse. This story on Boston's WCVB is simply called Ron Paul's Apocalypse Now. As I said, they're all in cahoots with each other. This concept that all these countries are against each other is a psyop of people, so they can create boogeymans in each country of the opposing country, or said countries. So this is all a major psyop. There's 3 different types of psyops. You have strategical psyops, which is referring to information activities. You have operational psyops, which is referring to military operations, and you have tactical, which is talking about specific areas. So all 3 of these are going to be going on, and that's what these are. It's just, again, pretending that they hate each other. They're all in cahoots with each other. They're all going to unleash things and do their own part, whether that's going to be several false flags, which are provocations of war, or 1 or 2 false flags followed by 1 or 2 psyops, such as I mentioned, a virus being released and also a massive earthquake. To me, it would make sense if they did a massive earthquake, 1 or 2, and then released a virus, and then at the very least, if that didn't scare enough people, kill enough people, and they wanted to do something devastating, then you go into a war. Any type of war is not going to be killing any of these government officials. I'll read these next two paragraphs, and that'll be it. In a brand new video, I don't want to read about Alex Jones. On December 7, 2014, Susan Dokos published a story called Doomsday Liar, Elite Bug Out Underneath Underground Bunkers and Cities Prepared for Major Catastrophe. The elite will survive, will we? In that story, Susan told us about tons of missing food, government stockpiling of ammunition and weapons, and missing gold and money, and shared with us the proof of where it was all likely going. On March 30, 2015, she followed up with Doomsday Underground Command Centers. The United States builds bunkers to protect elite. Russia builds them to protect the people. What is wrong with this picture? In which she detailed Russians' decision to build doomsday bunkers to protect their people, while here in America, the bunkers are solely for the government and the elite. Days ago, I published a story documenting the global elite were on the run, many of them likely to their bunkers, preparing for what they know is coming, that most of the rest of America is clueless on. or about. I did a video on that. The United States government just again admitted that they somehow misplaced $300 trillion or $3 trillion. I think it was $300 trillion they misplaced, and they did that years ago, just like in 2011. I think it was after. It was like a day or two after the September 11th. There was like a couple $100 billion, or it was like a couple $1 trillion were missing, and all that. I can't digress into all that because I could talk for days about that. But they're taking that money and obviously, building tons of underground tunnels and military bases, which they have all over the place. That's why this argument that there's not enough planet, meaning not enough land for everyone, there's not enough water, there's not enough sun, there's not enough energy, there's not enough food. It's all bullshit. It's all a psyop, and unfortunately people believe it. Stay well, be balanced. Namaste.